So what is going on, guys? Welcome back to another brand new division video. Today's video we're going to be talking about the top 5 marksman rifles in update 1.6. I guess some of them are sniper rifles, but I just categorize them as marksman rifles because, well, that's what it says, so that's what we're going to be categorizing them as. But anyways, today's video, top 5, I guess in my personal opinion might be different for some of you guys, but um, video might be a little bit weird because I know sometimes I previously did where I just like straight up talked about them rather than just showing you guys the gun. So some of you guys got mad saying I'd rather you like physically show me the gun in the video as well as talking about the gun in the position that it's ranked rather than just like not showing the weapon at all and just talking about it. So I thought I'd actually show the weapons that I have. Also for this video, you guys see that I have a historian. I'm going to be switching that out for the M1A because I don't ever find any good M1As, let alone even a M1A in general. So we're going to be using historian considering the fact that it's basically a variant. So I hope you guys don't get mad at me for that. So yeah, just want to throw that out there real quick. So getting right in the video, coming in at number 5 is going to be the SRS-A1. And the reason why I put this at number 5 is because for some reason the base damage on SRSs are usually considerably low for some reason. I don't know what the reason is for on how they figure it out, but the headshot damages are usually just as high as any other bolt action sniper or marksman rifle. But as you guys can see, the reload speed I'm pretty sure is just about one of the fastest for any of the marksman rifles out of this category. That's one of the good things for this weapon. The magazine size is 7. I think it's like 11 or 12 with extended mag, so it's actually one of the higher bolt action magazine sizes out of the 2 or 3 that there are in the game. And the fire rate is mid-tier, I guess. It's not higher than the M44 or the M700, but it is decent. And that's the reason why it's coming in at number 5. The accuracy is one of the best, if not the best, for snipers, which is the reason why it has lower damage. Higher accuracy, obviously, is going to result in a little bit lower damage compared to having, barely any accuracy and high damage. So that's the reason why it's coming in at number 5 for you guys. Coming in at number 4, I don't actually have this weapon, but it is actually being sold in the underground special equipment vendor, and that's the Model 700, or I just call it straight up the M700. So as you guys can see, it has a lot higher damage than the SRS. It also has the same magazine size. It also has one high fire rate. I'm not really sure if that even makes a difference, to be honest with you guys, but it does have one fire rate higher if you guys did care. The accuracy also is around the same, just a little bit lower. But as you guys see, the reload speed is atrocious on this weapon. It's very slow. But it does have a lot of range on it, and stability is very low as well. But I'd still put this weapon over the SRS just because of the fact that it does have higher damage on it, so you're going to be doing more damage to a person just in general. And the headshot damages are usually very high compared to the SRS, usually like 10 or 20% higher usually. So that's also another reason why I put it over the M7. I'm not saying that the SRS is a bad weapon or anything, but I do believe, in my personal opinion, that the M700 is currently better than the SRS in update 1.6. So coming in at number 3 is going to be the historian. I know it'd be the M1A, basically M1A historian, whatever you guys want to call it, but I don't have a M1A right now that's actually decent for me to show you guys. But for right now, it's just going to be an M1A. M1A used to be one of the best, if not the best, marksman rifle in the game back in like 1.2, 1.3, and 1.4 for a sniper rifle slash marksman rifle wise. But obviously they made a lot of changes to it. But the thing that catches, I guess, a plus over the last 2 weapons that I talked about is the fire rate compared to these 2. Obviously the last 2 are bolt action sniper rifles, obviously, so you're only going to be able to shoot 1 bullet at a time. Then you got to pull the bolt back, and then you can shoot another bullet. Compared to something like the M1A slash historian, you can fire a lot more bullets down the range with a 300 fire rate compared to a 54 or a 53 fire rate with the bolt action sniper rifles, that being the SRS and the M700. Now obviously they did get a little bit of a nerf, the M1As, so they're going to have a little bit lower damage, but the headshot damage is still going to be pretty high. But the accuracy is very good on this. Not as good as something like a SVD or M44, but the accuracy still is pretty decent for a 10-round magazine weapon for base, obviously. But it does have a lot of range if you can have pretty decent accurate shots with the M1A slash historian. You can land, multiple headshots throw. I'm not going to lie to you. And the reload speed isn't terrible either. It's pretty good for a marksman rifle as well. Coming in at number 2, you guys might be a little bit surprised, but it is actually going to be the M44. I'm using a custom M44. It could be any M44, doesn't matter, but just in general, it's going to be the M44. Now, the reason why I put this at number 2 over the M1A, I know it's a bolt-action sniper rifle, so the headshot damage is going to be a little bit higher than something like maybe an SVD or something, because you're shooting multiple bullets down the range compared to just one. But the damage is going to be a lot higher, a lot higher than something like an M700 or a SRS. But for me, just in my personal experience and the last base builds I've made off of these weapons, they've been exceptionally well. They've done exceptionally well, especially for PvP. And just in general, I think all these weapons are very, very good for PvP, but I do think some of them stand out a little bit more than others. But like I said, really, really high base damage, 125,000 to compared to the, what was it, 100, yeah, 100, I almost said 108, 109,000, so it's like a 13, 14,000 base damage difference just for one weapon. The fire is also one higher. I don't really think it's going to make that much of a difference, but I guess the only downside to this weapon is it does only have a 5-round magazine compared to the SRS that has a 7-round magazine, the same as the M700 as well. Also, the accuracy is just about one of the best, if not the best, out of the 3 single-shot bolt-action sniper rifles. So if you guys were wondering, the M44 does have the best range. The reload speed is, I guess, a little bit lower than the two. It's definitely lower than the M700 and the SRS. But it does have good range. Obviously, it has to have good range. It is a sniper rifle. It's a marksman rifle. It needs to be good. And then the stability, it's a sniper rifle. You can't expect a sniper rifle to have just insane range, or insane stability to be able to walk back and forth, obviously. So expect that to be low for a sniper rifle. So coming in at number 1, you guys are probably wondering, this is actually on my build right now, is the SVD. Obviously, this is from a blueprint. There's various different versions of the SVD. You have the paratrooper, surplus. So obviously, it doesn't really matter. Just in general, we're talking SVD. If you guys want, I could go in detail, but I don't really think there's that many differences with the surplus and paratrooper, so I don't really think it matters. But just in general, we're talking the SVD for the best marksman rifle in 1.6. This is probably the best Deadeye weapon to use for marksman rifle wise. Obviously, Deadeye revolves around any type of snipers or marksman rifles that you're going to be using. So the SVD has just about the best stats that you can possibly get. Like I said before, it's one of the, if not most accurate marksman rifles in my personal opinion. I think it's the most accurate marksman rifle in the game. It doesn't really have that high of a recoil pattern. It's very, very easy to manage. Like I said, the reload speed is the highest, I believe, just a little bit lower, if not the highest out of all of them. The range isn't going to be as high as something like an M44 or an SRS, simply because of the fact that it's a single-fire shot weapon compared to a bolt-action sniper rifle like the M700 or the M44 or the SRS, obviously, so you can't expect the range to be unlimited like a sniper rifle compared to obviously something like the SVD, as well as, once again, this is a marksman rifle slash sniper rifle, so obviously the stability is not going to be something insane like a sniper or something like a assault rifle or a submachine gun. So just throwing that out there, it's a sniper rifle slash marksman rifle, so it's not going to have insanely high stability. Also, we didn't talk about any of the rules on the weapons. Because obviously they're going to be different for every gun that you guys get, as well as the base damage is going to probably be a little bit different for you guys as well, depending on what your guys' firearms is. Mine's almost 7,000, so it'll probably be similar if you guys are in the 6,000 to 7,000 range for you guys. But obviously the fire rate or the magazine size will not change, obviously, because I don't have any attachments on these. So there you go. That's basically it. That is my top 5. Once again, number 5 SRS, number 4 M700, number 3 is the M1A slash historian, whatever you guys use more. Number 2 is the M44 bolt-action sniper rifle, and the number 1 is the semi-automatic SVD. In my personal opinion, I think the surplus is better just because I have the blueprint, so I can roll it as much times as I want. But it could be based off of anyone's preference, depending on what gun they've used and which ones their builds are a little bit better with. But yeah, other than that, that's basically it. Once again, I believe I said in the beginning of the video, but these are basically upon PvP or PvE. It doesn't really matter. They could be used for either, but preference, the PvE side is going to probably be leaning towards anything with Deadeye, especially with the SVD, especially. So yeah, hope you guys enjoyed the video. Make sure you guys drop your guys' top 5 in the comment down below. Subscribe to the channel if you guys are new. Thanks for watching.